Hi guys, today I want to talk about the summary of completing the first mission and the first challenge. If you've been following me, you'll know that I've been putting myself on my own program. If you haven't followed me and you're new, my program is a 12-month program that helps people get out of a body that they feel trapped in, and typically it's people who are overweight and tried numerous of weight loss plans and exercise plans and nutrition plans, and they probably lost weight within them plans. However, when they finish the plans, they normally end up going backwards. So I've designed a program that has helped 41 people lose over 100 stone collectively within 6 months. And the reason why I'm putting myself through it, even though I'm not worried about losing weight, but I need to get myself back into a fitness level that I used to, because my fitness level declined. So I'm going to jump straight into it. And this is going to be really good, because if you are trying to get out of the body that you feel trapped in, you should be doing things like this. And when you finish events like this, a couple of things. One, it's good to reflect on it. Two, if you didn't achieve what you want to achieve, how to stay in the right mindset and not be too disheartened. And three, what my captain used to always say when I was in basic training, it doesn't get easier, it gets harder. Because if you are trying to escape and you finish the first challenge, you don't stop, you keep going. You've got to keep going and going and going, and it will get harder. So the things that I want to talk about today is one, the aim that I had. I create a mindset challenge, which if you haven't gone to, go to the mindset video, and there'll be a link to do the mindset challenge. But in there, there's a vision. Within the vision, I created myself for this half marathon that I trained for, which I trained for roughly about 5 weeks, to only stop twice. Now, I used to run like the wind, and I haven't ran for prior to January for a number of years, probably about 5 years properly. And so it's now the 7th of March, something like that. I ran on the 3rd of March, a half marathon. And from the 7th of January to the 3rd of March, I was training to try and complete it, which had to tackle the exercise, nutrition, planning, preparation, all that stuff. And so the aim was to run it twice. The time that I achieved it in was an hour and 57. So I want to talk about the comparison, because I used to run before. And then the next steps, what's next. So my aim was to train to a point where I'd only stop twice within the half marathon. And from the beginning on the 7th of January, I found it hard just going into the gym longer than half an hour, because my mentality state to go to the gym wasn't there. So I had to work my way up, get my body adapted to exercising, make it a part of my life again, which I did quite nicely. However, when I started running, I found it incredibly hard. I couldn't run a kilometre without stopping. So I had to run, stop, run, stop, run, stop, run, stop, or run, walk, run, walk. But I've been progressing it over the time. I've been training my mind more than just training the legs, because doing something like this, a half marathon, takes a lot of mentality strength, especially if I didn't have much time to train him. So the aim was to only stop twice, and the aim was just to complete it, not compete. And luckily enough, I was only able to stop once, or only walked once, and I ran, well, pretty much the whole way. The other, I only walked. I was going to walk. I was going to allow myself to walk 2 kilometers. So the first stop was going to walk for 1 kilometer. The second stop was going to walk for 2 kilometer. But when I went on to the marathon, because I'm so stubborn and I seen everyone else running, in my head I was like, "There's no way I'm not running if everyone else is running." Or sorry, yeah, so not walk. No way that I'm walking if everyone else is running. And then when I did stop, it was just this tunnel, and this tunnel must have been probably about 150 meters. So it was a 150-meter walk, and after that 150-meter walk, I continued running, and it was incredibly hard. My legs felt heavy towards the end. I was getting pain in my hips. I could feel the pressure on my knees and everything. So it was a real mind challenge, which is the perfect kind of challenge for me, and it's the challenge that you should be taking on are things that you feel like you cannot complete, because when you complete it, I feel great. And now my next challenge is a 10-mile run, which is 15k, but it's a mud run, and it feels slightly easier, even though it's still 10 miles, because I've done 13 miles. So the achievement was brilliant, done. That's the good side, that's the upside. So one stop. My time was 1 hour and 57 minutes and a couple of seconds. I can't remember the seconds. So I did want to get under 2 hours, which was great. It's only 3 minutes. However, if I was to compare it with my last run, which I'll write down now. So my last time I'd done this, I was in Iraq, and it was in 2011, and we are now currently 2019, so a very long time ago. But when I done it in 1 hour. That's meant to be a 5. So it was 1 hour and 35 minutes. So it was 20 minutes faster than I did what I did the other day. And when it was in Iraq, because I was with the American Army over there on tour, it was in 50-degree heat. So it was pretty bloody hot, and I was still able to manage to do it in 1 hour and 35 minutes. Now, if I was to compare it, because comparison is the thief of happiness, and people say you should only compare yourself to yourself, which is true, 100% true. However, I'd be so disheartened, but I kind of understand it's been a very long time, and you should take it with a pinch of salt that you've done that before, and there's no reason why you can't get to that position. So right now, this is just my benchmark back into fitness, and by the end of the year, if I get to there, I'll be very surprised, but I'm going to be very close to 1 hour and 35 by the end of the year. So there's a benchmark. So, and another comparison, when I was running, there was so many other people running, obviously, but there's people that are much older than me, and I would have thought would be not as fit as me. However, they was running straight past me, like cruising past me, and I was struggling to keep up with them. And I'm someone who's been in 2 different armies. I'm a personal trainer, so therefore I should have a higher benchmark, and you think I should be fitter than everyone else. However, everyone have different stages within their life. So I was really fit at one point, and no one could catch me. And then I went through my life, and things I tried creating a business. I've had a baby. Moving around so much, my fitness has declined. My focus has gone away from the fitness. And so my fitness and health has declined. However, I'm only a human being. I've recognised it, and I'll get it back up. So instead of being disheartened by it and seeing all these people who are older than me and where I feel like I should be fitter than them, it's just inspiring. It's inspiring to see people of the age, cruising past me easily, and I'm struggling to keep up. But it's just inspiration to get back to that level. So that's that. Now we need to talk about the next step, the exciting part. So the next step is we got to go through the process again. So my next step, challenge 1. And what I can do now is cross this one off. So challenge 1 done. And now I'm on to challenge number 2. Number 2 out of 8 for this year. And so what I need to focus on now is I've got to go through my procedure again, which is mindset, challenges, exercise, nutrition, planning and preparation. So if I put these up, I'll just abbreviate it. So I'll just put M for mindset. My pen's gone out, so I have to go over a red. So mindset, and then challenge, then my exercise, then my nutrition, and then planning and preparation I'll put together. Ooh, that looks like a funny Pete. Planning and preparation. Okay, so the mindset. You do the mindset challenge when you don't have a focus. When you don't feel like you're in a good mindset state to achieve what you want to achieve, this is what you do. However, you should go through the procedure instead of just talking about it. Because I've been through the procedure earlier this year, I am so focused, and I'm so focused on my next challenge, which I already know, and I'm already excited to start and get on with. I don't actually need to do this. So the mindset is just a tick. My mindset's good. My mindset's strong. I feel good on myself. I'm excited. I feel healthy. And I'm just excited for the next step. If I wasn't, I'd go through this whole procedure, because then it would put the cogs back into where it needs to be in place in the brain, give you that focus for you to continue. So you just move on to the next one. So the first challenge was half marathon. My next challenge is 10k. Sorry, it's a 15k. 15 kilometre mud run. And that is in the 6th of April. And right now it's the 3rd of March. So I've probably got about 4.5 weeks left. So I haven't got very long. And what's probably quite good to understand, I've just finished a half marathon, so you would think that I should jump straight back into the seat. However, because I've been training so hard for these last few weeks, this next week I'm taking off completely. So I'm completely relaxing. I'll go into the gym, but I'm only going to stretch. And then I'm going to replenish my whole body with good nutrition, fill my levels up completely. I had one day treat, a complete little blowout just to reward myself with, but back into the seat. And the reason why I do that is because when you train yourself so much, you rip the muscles in your body. And when you keep training, you keep ripping them. And when you don't train, it heals. So for this week, as my legs are quite shocked from the marathon, I'm just completely relaxing, letting my body completely heal. And then after the week, I'm going to jump straight back in the seat and train as hard as I can for the 15K. But I've got to look at the horizon because I've got a half Ironman, which involves swimming and cycling. But I'll come on to that later. So that's the challenge, 15K. The exercise, I went from level 1 to 2. Level 1 to 2. However, level 1 is ease into it, done. I can tick that off. Level 2, increase the intensity. So I'm training for 1 hour consistently at a high rate. So my heart rate is at a high rate, which I've done, smashed. And I can quite comfortably do that, each session now. So my next stage is the third stage, level 3. This level is the fear sessions. So 3 times a week now, I need to fear my fitness sessions. And the reason why I need to fear my fitness sessions, not to dishearten me, it's not to scare you away, but if you go into the session and you've got slight anxiety about going into it, don't put you off, but the reason why it is because you know it's going to be a hard session. That kind of session is going to improve you. Now, I'm not expecting you to fear the session and say you can only run 5 miles and you go into a session to run and do 25 miles. That's too much. There's obviously a limit to it. You want to do more, slightly more, or probably quite a little bit more than what you're used to within the session. And if it's a gym session, then you'd want to probably increase the weights, or you want to reduce your resting time, or you want to increase the reps within your time. So there's different ways you can do it, but just fear the session. And if you fear the session, you change. If you do a session right, you'll see the results the same day. So I'm going to be training for my 10K, which is a 10-mile run. Therefore, my running training now is going to be so much more intense than it was prior. Because before, even though I was training my mind, I was just trying to run. I was just trying to get the distance in. Now I've got the distance in, it's time to run that distance faster, do more intervals, or run further in the same period of time. And then there's different ways. Now, I have to add to this, because I'm doing a half Ironman within 8 weeks, I'm going to double my sessions up. So 2 or 3 times a week, I'm going to probably do 2 hours a week, 2 hours of training. So I'm going to do cycling and running in the same session, or swimming and cycling in the same session, or swimming and running in the same session. And at the moment, because it's not a part of my life, it's going to feel like a bit of a burden to my life. But the more I do it, the more it's going to be a part of my life, and then you just adapt around to it. So at first it's hard, but then it gets easier. So level 3, nutrition. I went from filling my levels up. So first of all was level 1. Same again, levels. Level 1 go back to the beginning. It was detox, done, beginning of the week. Strip my body of all the stuff. Second one is fill my nutrition levels up. 2, done. I've been filling my nutrition levels up really well. I've cut out all takeaways, fizzy drinks, apart from that one treat I had after the marathon. And now I'm going on to the third level, which I like to call you manipulate the diet until you're in a position that you want to be. So my first manipulation of my diet is I'm going to now start counting my calories. I'm going to figure out my calories and what I need. I'm going to make sure on the days that I perform, I'm eating enough to perform, and on the days I'm not performing, just take away slightly so I can get rid of a bit of my fat around my body and have as much muscle. Therefore, I feel lighter and I'll be able to move better. So that's going to take some working out, and I might record it live so you can see exactly how I do it. So that's the stage I'm going to be on. It's also going to be a burden on my life because I'm now going to have to calculate my calories. But the more I do it, the more I get used to the more it gets into my life, and the better it's going to be. And the last thing is planning and preparation, and that's quite self-explanatory. So my next step is to plan my levels, my exercising, how I'm going to get in, what I'm going to get in, what days I'm going to get it in. As I'm up in London and down in Devon, every now and then, I've got to figure out what I'm going to do when I'm in London, what I'm going to do when I'm in Devon. And because I don't know when I'm in London, I've got to make a plan to make sure it's going to be adaptable. And then the same with nutrition, completely plan my nutrition out. How am I going to do my nutrition? What's going to be in my nutrition? Plan it out for the next 4 weeks so I know what I'm going to be eating in advance. And even if I can't eat, at least I've got a plan in place so I don't have to think about what I've got to eat, because that takes time. And if you take time, you kind of veer off the path and you want to be as prepared as possible. So that's pretty much it. My challenge 1 done. I hope you took a lot of information away over these last few videos. Please let me know if you have. If you haven't, let me know, because then you can tell me why you haven't and I can make the videos better, because I'm going to repeat the videos, but for this next challenge. Everything gets harder, everything gets slightly more intense, so there's different little things that you need to put into it, and I'd love for you to follow on. So I hope you enjoy, have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.